obviously was due to the large amount of rains we received last night. We met with Director Bowling from Ionia Public Safety, and he was in contact early this morning with the National Weather Service, and we realized the Grand River was going to continue to rise throughout the day. We anticipated that we were going to get rain throughout today and this evening, and from the rains last night, all of our parking lots are wet. So for the safety of all those involved, the board made a very tough decision and decided to cancel the last 3 days of the fair. No, this isn't an emergency type situation like we had a few years ago at the B93 birthday bash. This is more of a proactive approach. We anticipate that the flood waters of the river will continue to rise throughout the next 2 or 3 days, and our lots aren't possible to park cars in. So we thought about possibly busing people in or what have you. We realized that wasn't really an option either, so the tough decision was made to cancel the last 3 days of the fair.
Working at the fair, I've been enjoying it also, and I mean, it does come to a shock that it's closing early, but I mean, flood's a flood. They got to let the dam out so it don't break.
Yeah, we're just disappointed that we came and we didn't listen to the news. We didn't hear anything about it closing up. We were told it was going to close on Saturday. We get here on Thursday and they're shutting it down. So, you know, so we drove 50 miles to come down here. But that's life.
The direct impact is minimal. The city doesn't really realize any revenue from the fair. The fair obviously is a huge part of the mojo of the city, and it's a very important message to the world that Ionia is a cool place to be and a place to have a lot of fun. But as far as direct economic impact, there won't be much, if any, other than the fact that the fair, of course, takes care of the fairgrounds. So it's important to us from a direct economic perspective that they continue to take care of the fairgrounds, mow the grass, take care of the buildings, which they've done a great job of this year. The buildings look better than they've looked in years. We've got underground power going down there. The fair has put probably $300,000 into the grounds in the last year. That's a great thing to the city because the city doesn't have to do that. But as far as losing revenue because the fair will be canceled for the next 3 days, that won't happen. Most of the vendors have signed up for next year. The carnival is all set for next year. It's a 3-day blip. It's going to cost us some money. It's not good. I can't say that it is, but it's not something that's devastating to the fair. It's a very unfortunate event that certainly has a negative impact on the fair, but it's a relatively manageable negative impact. So things are good going forward. This isn't going to change the way we do things.
We've came here every year since we've been born pretty much, and this is the first time it's ever closed on us. Like, this is
really
ridiculous.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
It's been nice to have a last day to get everything done that we wanted to do. Did the days
It was
that
just
were
this morning we
rest.
woke up and we already knew that it was closing down, so there was so much more stuff we wanted to go get pictures taken. We wanted to go ride the G-Force, and now we can't do any of that.
I think it's pretty devastating. A lot of people are really upset about it.
Different areas. What ends up happening is it doesn't just come over the banks. The north parking lot is the one that you see the water in first. So the north parking lot between the wastewater plant and the free fairgrounds is the one where right now you'll see a lot of water collected. So that floods first, and then some of the other areas flood after that. The front of the fairgrounds will probably flood, possibly in the west. The south lot is the one where the B93 event happened. So those flood first, and actually the middle of the fairground floods last. And so I don't expect this to be a flood like you see in the spring. And flood stage is technically something like 21 feet. We aren't going to get close to 21 feet, but it will flood enough to flood out all of the parking lots.
Folks that have bought pre-sale tickets can contact the fair office this upcoming week. We're going to do some 2-for-1 specials for next year. If you keep your ticket for next year, we'll actually give you 2 tickets for the 1 ticket that you turn in, and we'll also do that with our ride bracelets from the Midway. On certain days of the fair next year, you'll actually be able to turn that in and get 2 ride bracelets. So there's also the possibility, if you're going to another fair in the state of Michigan that Play World Amusements are playing, they're going to honor the pre-sale bracelets also at their events throughout the state of Michigan the rest of the summer. So some good days in comparison. There will be some financial impact, but from the majority of the vendors we've talked to, Play World It's positive. They realize you can't control Mother Nature, and there's going to be some repercussions, and the Fair Board's ready to deal with that, and we're ready to get started planning the 2012 Ionia Free Fair.